Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Bar podcast. I am Denisa Tova, your host, and today we have a very special guest. We have a family law attorney, Stephanie Lehman, who works as a principal for the firm called Offit Kurman, with a career spanning over, 25 years. I mean, you look amazing. In both New York and New Jersey, Stephanie is an authority in matrimonial, family, and definitely cutting edge fertility law. Now, what's really interesting, Stephanie is an art lover, and it actually runs deep in her veins. And then she finds time to be a published author in prominent publications and be a fully present mom. I am so excited for this conversation. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you so much for having me. What an introduction. Thank you.
Well, you deserve it. Stephanie, you started as based on our brief conversation, you started as an art history major and you had aspirations to become an art lawyer. So what happened to that dream and how did you transition into family law?
Unfortunately, or fortunately, life happened. And sometimes, we don't get all the choices, you know, that we want. And I was second year of law school, it was. I had an internship scheduled with Marvel Comics, and one thing led to another. And business was not great for Marvel at that present time, and the internship was canceled, and I found myself hunting for a job quite desperately, mind you. And I fell into a family law position. And from there on out, my life was changed and the trajectory of my career was changed. Um, and I was fortunate to find myself associated with some wonderful attorneys in New York City who, who trained me. And molded me into the attorney that I am today.
Wow, that's quite a story because so that literally ran deep in your veins. You had passion for art. So but you're equally passionate about the work that you do in your field. As a matter of fact, I read a very insightful article about the challenges of navigating divorce when child has ADHD diagnosis, and there are many parents who can relate to that. So what ignited your passion to write about this, and why?
I've always loved children. I've always loved working with children, as much as I love walking through a museum. And I could not wait to have my own children and to experience motherhood. And I have three amazing children, two of whom do have some learning issues. And through them, I've become very passionate about how those learning issues can infect not only intact marriages, but families that are going through a divorce. And, children with significant issues, thank God mine are not. Not very serious, but there are children who have very serious issues that need to be dealt with. And when parents are at odds with each other going through a divorce, those issues can be intensified and overcomplicated, and the children become affected. And I really truly believe it's up to the practitioners to understand the needs of these children with special needs so that they can integrate their needs and how to best protect those needs into any settlement agreement that's crafted.
You said something really insightful is providing tools for the parents who are now going through a very difficult transition, and children are in the middle, and divorces are difficult to begin with. It's many changes, and they're emotionally laden, and then having to deal with yet another challenge. Children, they require stability, and so that's an added trauma. So having that know-how, and then that extra information, must be giving them, that extra peace of mind. Was there a moment, what would you call it? Maybe a self-reflection that changed how you practice law now?
I think the longer I practice, Well, that's not true. Let's go back to the beginning. I think when I first started to practice, I was completely jaded by life and what actually happened in families going through divorce. I was fortunate to grow up in an intact family. My parents are still married, so divorce was quite foreign. To me, to my family, to other family members. I just didn't see it firsthand. But when I started to work in that world, I was amazed that even in families of, social economic, wealth, we're experiencing such hardship and such issues that I didn't think were, you would see in those worlds. um and I learned very quickly that, you never know what goes on behind closed doors, and that you have to be very sensitive to everyone's issues, and listen and hear and be empathetic and compassionate, and bring that to your practice. Because if you're not there in the moment for your clients, you can't serve them. And if you don't take even the any minor issue seriously, it can have a long-term impact on their um, lives moving forward.
Hmm. That is so well said. Is really paying attention and hearing, and sometimes hearing what they're really not saying. And yes, on one hand, we can say, "Come on, guys! I mean, here you are arguing over forks and knives." Okay. However, there could be some sort of attachment of something greater that could be greater, deeper meaning to it, and that doesn't mean they truly are superficial and they don't care. I think you're so right on. We all have a story. Go through challenges and setbacks, and we're all human beings at the end of the day. So it sounds like you're able to lean into what's in front of you with your own experience and compassion, and just meet your clients where they're at. um, you have 3 children, as you said. What does a balance look like for you between your demanding career and being really truly present as a parent?
I don't sleep. No, I really don't. I'm only teasing you.
That's the secret.
So, sleep? What's that? No, I'm only serious. um, Look, my children know, and I have two daughters, and my youngest is a my son. But especially for my daughters, I want them to understand that women can have careers and be moms and be participants in their PTAs, in their schools, be there to help them with their homework. I think it's extremely important for them to see, and for my son to see for that matter. And, I make every effort possible to just always be there. And even if it means I bring my laptop home with me and I'm there doing homework with them, from 6 to 8, and I log back on. Fortunately, we're in a new world, right? Even more so since COVID, where remote working and working at odd hours is become an acceptable norm. So I almost thank COVID for happening, because it really has changed
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a sick, twisted way, because it really has helped me to almost have it all, and to be able to bring my work life and or have a work life balance for that matter.
That is actually awesome. And because I'm
Mhm.
I'm connecting the dots. I've done quite a few of these interviews, and especially with women, um, who said the same thing, is that they're able to be more flexible now, being that the world has been normalized to be virtual. It's no longer sort of this oddity. Or you have to hide the fact that you want to spend some time with your kids, or you're pregnant. It's just, so it allows you to do that while they're working on their homework. If you want to answer emails, or even get on a call, get on a Zoom. And it's the present doesn't mean you have to be playing with them. And a present sometimes could mean you being literally in their presence. So
Yeah.
that's really great. So being an art lover, see, I can't let that go. Do you have a do you have a favorite piece of art? Do you have a favorite piece of art, and how does how does your passion for art play a role in your life today?
What's my favorite piece? Ooh, wow. Um, I think it might be Botticelli's Birth of Venus. I love the colors. I am a Renaissance art fan. I was one of the few in my art history graduating class who focused on Renaissance as opposed to Impressionism, which was extremely popular for students to study. And how do I bring it to my current, day-to-day life? I go with my children to museums. I travel. I explore. When I have some free time, I even pick up a pen and start to draw. So I really try to integrate it as much as I can, and I really have immense pride in being able to share my knowledge of art with my children. So hopefully they appreciate it as much as I do.
Mm. So if you could spend a day with your role model, who would that be, and what would you discuss or do together?
Ooh, good question. Who would my role model be? You know, I hope she's listening to me, and when she maybe watches this podcast. But Marcy Wachtel was a fantastic role model for me. She is a matrimonial attorney who I worked for as a baby lawyer, and I felt she was extremely successful, extremely talented practitioner, but she also was there for her daughter, um, traveled with her daughter. She loved talking about TV shows she watched with her daughter, um, and if I look back on it, really told me and showed me that you could do it all. And this was from a totally different, generation pre-COVID, early, what is it, mid 90s, I guess, mid early 2000s.
Yeah.
Um, so, if I look back, she was inspirational to me in many ways. And I also would have to say, I know this is like cliche, but my mom and my grandma were also fantastic role models on just how to be very decent human beings, kind and compassionate and empathetic. And I'm gonna cry. No,
I will.
and okay,
Wow.
and really, my
Yeah.
grandmother was, and my mom is too, a fantastic entertainer, cook, artist, very talented and creative. Um, and just good people to the core. So I hope that I can, continue to emulate them as
I am sure you do already. And what a wonderful, wonderful tribute. I really I'm getting goosebumps, and I truly mean that. That is really the essence of what we're doing here. Is I keep saying to human. This is just so beautiful and moving. Um, if one of your children came to you and said, I want to become an attorney, I want to become a lawyer, I don't want to be an artist, what advice would you give them?
well. Just be the best attorney that you can be, and just be happy in your career, and pick a
Mm.
specialty. I mean, we can't really say we have specialties, but pick a concentration that um, you're compassionate about, and you, can just feel that it will fulfill you on a day-to-day basis, because there's so many attorneys that I know that really don't like what they do, and regret decisions to either become a lawyer, concentrate in concentrate in a specific area. And I think that in law school they don't really teach you what it means to be a lawyer, a practicing lawyer. They give you the skills, they give you the knowledge, the understanding on how to ultimately be a lawyer, but the idea of what it takes to practice in a law firm, and work with your partners, your colleagues day to day, appear in court, respect your colleagues, you know that's not something that's taught. That's something that you experience, and you really have to be happy, in your day to day life, so that you can enjoy that, because it is a lot and it's time consuming, and your job fulfills a good part of your day. So whatever they do, I just want them to be happy. Although I'm steering
That
them
is a
towards
great
medicine.
advice. I want them to be happy, but I'm steering them towards Yeah, that's this is wonderful, and I know we can continue on and on and on because you are right. Lawyers, you as legal professionals, you have so many layers, and it goes way beyond the competence and the learned knowledge, the expertise. It is the communication. It is the human skills. It's active listening, and then being able to not lose the sense of yourself. And you said something interesting, and there seems to be a common theme, sort of, that there are some lawyers who do not like their job. And I've been hearing across, sort of, from practitioners who have been practicing for a while, is that if you are looking for a job, this is not it. If you're looking for a career that can be rewarding, this could be it, but you have to understand what you're getting yourself into. So, um, thank you so much for sharing, Stephanie. This really has been an inspiring conversation. We will definitely have you back. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And thank you so much for having me and allowing me to share part of me with your community. Thank you.
Pleasure, definitely. And viewers and listeners, thank you for joining us for this eye opening, inspirational chat with very accomplished Stephanie Lehman. And to learn more about her diverse background and how to get a hold of her, click on her bio link below. Don't forget to hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, Beyond the Bar Podcast, and keep following us on all social media channels. And until next time, stay curious and stay inspired.